Our topic for today is, why did the narcissist discard you? Many survivors torment themselves looking for reasons why, because the narcissist has moved the furniture around in your head. You became obsessed with pleasing them, even as the narcissist strategically moved the goalposts further out of reach with each new, extravagant demand. Many survivors of a discard are in agony because they've bent over backwards to please the narcissist, so they want to know why. Why did they deceive you? Why did they devalue you? Why did they discard you? So let's unpack the reason why the narcissist did that to you. All narcissists have an all-consuming addiction to supply. For those who don't know, supply is the narcissist's fuel. It is the attention, energy, and essence they consume from other people. The narcissist doesn't care about you. They only care about supply. All narcissists are slaves to this addiction. And your need to make sense of the whims of an addict could get you stuck in psychological quicksand. Because the narcissist has studied you, they know you'll want to make sense of their wanton cruelty. They know you'll waste more precious time and energy trying to look for logic in their sadistic games. If you search for answers from the narcissist, you'll hear that you're to blame. You'll experience projection, gaslighting, and stonewalling. For more on projection, check out my video, The Narcissist's Projection is an Autobiography. If you seek answers from their flying monkeys, you'll discover you've been scapegoated and smeared. The more malignant the narcissist is, the more people in your support system they will have contaminated with their smear campaign. They may reach out to your family, friends, and workplace to alter their perception of you and leave you alienated and alone. That's the narcissist's goal. They want to isolate you until you're left with two choices: self-destruct or submit to the narcissist, who by now has built such a power base in your circle that they can undo the damage they've done to your life with a word. By discarding you, the narcissist has obtained another kind of supply, as distorting other people's perception of you feeds the narcissist's God complex. Your suffering serves to fuel the narcissist with more supply. Why? 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 Because behind the mask, there is a fiend who craves that thigh-slapping, undiluted, grade-A supply. If they can't get it from you, they'll find it somewhere else. Remember, all narcissists are slaves to their addiction. Self-confessed narcissist H.D. Tudor gives a forensic overview of the workings of the narcissistic mindset. It is centered on two things. Number one, obtaining supply. And number two, control over everyone in what he calls the narcissist's fuel matrix. I'll put a link to his video for you down below. Tudor explains that the narcissist's fuel matrix is a network of various sources of supply constructed by the narcissist and divided into three separate quality classes: primary sources, secondary sources, and tertiary sources. Often the narcissist uses deception as a smokescreen so that the majority of these sources have no idea that the others exist. This enables the narcissist to develop manifold personas for numerous primary sources and/or family units simultaneously. The narcissist moves their various supply in and out of positions of primary sources based on three factors. Number one, the quality of supply has depreciated. This is the most common reason, and it happens because the source is depleted and exhausted from a psychological parasite feeding off your very soul. To the narcissist, your supply is no longer potent enough. Number two, the source has asserted themselves. This can occur when the source makes a demand on the narcissist, displays confidence, or sets a boundary. The narcissist is a tyrant and views this as a threat to their need for absolute control. Number three, the source is on to the narcissist. If they know you've seen through them, you can expect what Meredith Miller calls a mortal discard. Now, with regard to situations number one and number two, the narcissist discards you as a punishment. In the first instance, they probably won't hoover you until your energy levels are replenished. In the second instance, the narcissist is likely to hoover you after a period of punishment through the silent treatment, after they are certain you'll let them be the boss. In the third instance, the narcissist will go for your jugular and try to destroy you socially, psychologically, and/or physically. In all of these instances, the narcissist will spit you out like chewing gum that's lost its sweetness, while rubbing it in your face that they've moved on to another source who they deem superior to you. The next question many survivors of a narcissist discard will ask is how? How can they do this? What about the times they told you that your love was like a religious experience? What about the fact that you're their child? What about the time you saved them from ruin? What about the fact that you gave them your kidney? What about the fact that you gave birth to them? What about your wedding vows? What about the fact that you're their sibling, husband, child, best friend, parent, etc.? Well, nothing is sacred to the narcissist except obtaining supply, so none of these things matter because all narcissists are slaves to their addiction. They never loved you because narcissists don't love. They mimic love in order to use people to fuel their addiction to supply. That is all. To the narcissist, you're an object, like a syringe that injects supply into the void where their soul used to be, before they traded it away. Once the syringe is empty, it's discarded for a new one filled with fresh supply, because all narcissists are slaves to their addiction. Everything you've been through with a narcissist is about control. And once you've come out of the fog of their deception and back to reality, then you realize they're at war with you, and the battle is for your mind. Like a Trojan horse, the narcissist infiltrated your life and your circle. At first, they appeared as God's gift, your best friend, your ally, your lover. Part of the infiltration was to program you. Part of the narcissist's con is to reflect you back to you. During the love bombing phase, the narcissist data mines all that you're willing to confide in them. They want to know what makes you tick. They use this information to craft a false persona, tailor-made to your needs, using cognitive or cold empathy to read you, zeroing in on what drives you, your needs, desires, and vulnerabilities. The sleight of hand is that you identify and bond with the narcissist's imitation of you. They are soothing your most painful core wounds with relentless love bombing. This is where they work the dark magic that enslaves your mind and makes you crave them. Now they've fashioned a para-addict mentality in you. Now you're like them, except the narcissist is your supply, your drug. You're so strung out you miss all the indicators, the red flags screaming that you're dealing with a fiend. When the narcissist has complete control of your perception, you become a conquest and you bore them. Your supply starts depreciating. They'll stick around until they find a fresher, more potent source, at which time they'll discard you. If you're onto them and they know the value of your supply plummets, maybe you're less compliant, less obedient. Maybe you've started asking questions or shown a bit of skepticism. Now the narcissist has to get rid of you and assassinate your character so that no one will believe you. The goal is to psychologically crush you. And that's really all there is to it. The narcissist's mindset revolves around their addiction, supply, and how they get it, control. If you get in the way of them obtaining their stuff, they'll wreck you, because all narcissists are slaves to their addiction. By now, the narcissist has rearranged the workings of your mind, seizing control, erasing your independence, and blurring your identity. They've conditioned you to crave their approval. After the narcissist's discard, you're left in a state of shock, trauma, grief, and withdrawal. These words might not be easy to hear, but it's the strongest medicine that brings the healing. Once you understand what you're dealing with, you realize that no closure can come from the narcissist. Now is the time to tap into your own power and give that closure to yourself. One of the keys to recovery is shifting your attention and energy from the narcissist onto yourself, your life, your goals. What can you learn about yourself from your experience with a criminal who stooped so low as to run a con job on you? What do you need to build in order to protect yourself from this kind of predator? What core wounds do you need to work on to raise your self-esteem? Remember, narcissists steer clear of people with healthy boundaries who are self-confident and self-aware. What do you need in order to develop that mindset? When you can answer these questions, set new goals, and start working toward them, you're on your way to recovery. As the saying goes, if you focus on the hurt, you'll continue to suffer. If you focus on the lesson, you'll continue to grow. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe to this channel. Also, please comment if you agree or disagree with my perspective, and share your own so we can learn from each other. That's it for now. We'll talk again soon.